Okay, family, I just wanted to give you this quick affiliate marketing food for action message. And this message right here is based off of a question that I just heard. I was just on a mastermind meeting and the question of emails came up. Now, I know in our business, in our industry, being able to create an email and an email sequence is crucial to the growth of our business. The emails is where most of the sales are, done. Now, we know that you can do a post on social media, people might see it, people might like, they might comment, but then you send them a link to somewhere. They might look at the information there, and if you're lucky, they might actually sign up for whatever type of lead magnet that you have. Now, even the lead magnet itself, that might be pretty good, but it might not result in you actually getting a sale. All that it really resulted in was you getting interest. It means that somebody was interested enough in you to actually give you a piece of their personal information, an email address. So when you have that, they say the fortune is in the follow-up, and the fortune 9 times out of 10 is in your emails. So I wanted to show you guys something real quick. I'm on the Facebook page of one of the most popular online marketers, Mr. Anthony Morrison. Now, if you're not familiar with him, I advise you to look him up on YouTube and various social media platforms. He's been around for at least a decade. So I've known of him and I followed him for years, and he's one of the top online marketers. As you can see here in this picture right here, he's with the owners of ClickFunnels, and you can see that he has his plaque showing that he's been able to use the ClickFunnels platform itself to be able to earn what they call and be a part of the 2 Comma Club. So he's made millions and millions using funnels and doing things like this, using email marketing specifically, right? So if someone like that has been able to make millions and millions of dollars using email marketing, then the one thing that I suggest that you do is actually get on his email list. Now, let me ask you this question. How many people are you actually following and learning from? Now, if you're only learning from one person, that's a big mistake, because one person doesn't have the answer to everything. They might make you believe that they know everything and that if you just do what they tell you to do, you'll be successful. Well, the question is, how has that been working for you so far? Now, me, myself, I'll never get too full of myself to think that I'm just the best thing on earth and that you should only listen to me. What I know for a fact is that you are the sum of everything that you go through, and you are the sum of your experiences. So just like in your real life, your online business has to be conducted the same way. You have to pull from various areas. It doesn't mean that you're scattered around, that you have shiny object syndrome. No. But what it does mean is that you should gather information from as many sources as possible. You don't necessarily have to make a purchase of a product or service that's not going to help you anyway, but you can do something as simple as joining somebody's email list, clicking on a link that's on their website or their social media page so that you can see where it goes to. And let's just do that. I'm gonna click on this link and it's gonna show where it actually goes to. So I haven't visited this site from Anthony Morrison before, but this right here is something that he calls Webinar Fuel. So as you can see, it's a well-designed website landing page. It has, graphics, it has information. So what this tells me is that this right here is the beginning of a funnel that actually works. Now, okay, we have the basis of what we need, right? A funnel that actually works, at least the landing page itself. Now, if we try to leave this page, and I was going to see if was any type of pop-up when I try to leave, and there's not a pop-up when I try to leave, but on most pages, there might be a pop-up if you try to exit out, a pop-up that tells you, hey, if you stay, if you provide me with your name and email, you'll get something, or you can join our mailing list. But this one right here, for example, it doesn't have it, but that's okay. Now, if you find someone that you can actually join their mailing list, then the next thing you should do is actually check out their emails. See, Anthony Morrison has been sending me emails for years and years and years. So we go back March, February. There's so many emails that he's sent me over the course of time. And let's see. So Anthony has sent me back 2025. And the filter is not as filtered as it was on the first page, right? But you get the point. I have over 100 emails from Anthony Morrison. Examples of what good emails look like, what good subject lines look like, things that have helped him actually build his business. So now I know, okay, what's a good subject line that I can possibly use or recreate using ChatGPT or whatever AI tool I want to use. And then, okay, I recreated the subject line. Now the next thing is I want to actually go into an email. I see a couple of these look like it's about the same, but let's see what we can click on. Let's see. So we see there's a live training in an hour, but that was at that particular time. So if you're creating a live training video, then maybe you might want to know what type of email to send to someone if you're creating a live webinar. Now, this one right here is pretty short and to the point. Look, 3 lines, 3 simple lines. So does it have to be something long and extravagant? Possibly not. If you have a big enough list and you just want to get the point out to someone, then you don't need much to say, but just to join us now. Or look at this, 2 lines. We are on now. You will miss it. And then the link to actually get there. So do you need something that's really, really long and drawn out? Quite possibly not. Let's see what this email says right here. This is a little bit more detailed. There's a regular style email, but it gives you some information here. It lets you know that there's going to be a meeting on Thursday. So on Thursday, I'll be revealing the exact approach. Now, it might not be your training yourself. It could be the training hosted by one of your business partners, whatever business that you're in. But this right here gives you a blueprint as to what you can actually send to your audience. So you should never run out of emails if you are subscribed to enough email lists so that you can get inspiration. Now get inspiration from the right people, people that you see that are successful, people that you see that have been awarded certain plaques and things like that, and showing that they are, someone that possibly 165,000 plus people are actually following. So if they're willing to follow them and they're willing to open up their emails, then maybe similar emails will work for you. So with that, I hope you guys have enjoyed this quick affiliate marketing food for action message. And I want you to think again, whenever you have a question about something, I want you to start using your creative thinking. How do I get this accomplished? How do I learn how to do this? How do I get better? And there's always a roadmap. And if you're interested in learning what I actually applied this particular skill set to, I want you to comment hustle, and I'll send you the direct link to the system that I use on a daily basis to help me grow my online business. So with that, I hope you guys have enjoyed, and I hope you have a great rest of your day.
They keep telling you, stay motivated. Watch this. Listen to that. Get inspired. But what happens when the video ends When the music fades, when nobody's clapping, watching, or waiting for you to win, what moves you then? I used to run on borrowed energy, quotes, speeches, people hyping me, yeah. Felt unstoppable for a moment, then I'd crash, like it was never in me. That's the problem with external fuel. You burn quick, don't last, don't rule. You dependent on a source outside, so when it disappears, so do you. I was chasing feelings, not building fire, waiting to feel ready instead of climbing higher. But readiness ain't a mood you catch, it's a discipline you wire. So I had to ask myself something different. If nobody ever told me keep going, would I answer that honestly? I realize purpose don't scream, it whispers. It ain't in the crowd, it's found in the mirror. It ain't in applause or validation checks. It's in what you do when there's nothing to flex. Motivation temporary, purpose permanent. One phase away, the other's inherent. You don't wake up feeling it every day, but purpose don't care how you feel anyway. It moves through you even when you're tired, even when life feel misaligned and wired. It's that quiet push you can't explain. I say do it again through the doubt and pain. So I stopped asking how do I feel and started asking what's real, what's mine to build, what's mine to create. That's when I found something stronger than fate. I don't need a reason, I am the reason. I am the reason. I don't need the feeling, I don't need the feeling. I move with meaning. No more waiting, no more waiting, no more chasing, no more chasing. Internal driver, that's what's leading. Yeah. Now I move like it's already decided. No hesitation, no need to be guided. I built a system inside of my soul that don't break down when I'm losing control. External noise don't shake my direction. I learned to operate without the connection. Not disconnected but self-sustained. Energy internal, never drained. I don't need hype, I don't need cheers. I done built this through blood, sweat, tears. Every rep carved into my frame. Now discipline calling me by name. This is what it looked like when purpose drive. You ain't just working, you feel alive. Even in struggle there's something deeper. You not just moving, you moving with meaning. Listen close. Purpose don't shout, it pulls. It don't beg, it demands. And once you feel it, you can't go back. There's gonna be days you don't feel like it, do it anyway. There's gonna be days you question everything, keep going anyway. Because the ones who make it ain't the most motivated, they the most committed to something deeper than motivation. I don't need a reason, I am the reason, I don't need the feeling, I move with meaning. No more waiting, no more chasing, internal driver, that's what's leading. When the world go quiet, when the noise disappear, when nobody's watching, that's when you find out if you really got it, or if you was just borrowing it. Borrowing it.
If your TikTok views are stuck under 500, this is the video you've been waiting for. Because I'm about to tell you the real reason your content isn't taking off, and it has nothing to do with luck, the algorithm, or being shadow banned. You're posting, but TikTok isn't pushing your videos. You're trying trends, but nothing sticks. You're consistent, but the views stay flat. And the worst part, you don't even know what you're doing wrong. Here's the truth: nobody tells you TikTok doesn't reward effort, it rewards structure. Most creators are posting content, but TikTok is looking for specific triggers inside your first 3 seconds: your pacing, your framing, and your storytelling. And the crazy part, there's actually a system for this. A predictable way to create videos TikTok wants to push. I know because I'm an affiliate for a program called TikTok Takeover, and I personally know the creator behind it. I've seen behind the scenes. I've seen the framework. And I've watched people go from 200 views to thousands to tens of thousands just by following this system. So if you're tired of posting and praying, if you're tired of feeling invisible, and you want a simple, repeatable strategy that actually works, comment takeover and I'll send you the link. Stop guessing, start growing. This is the moment your TikTok finally starts working for you.
I give you food for action, don't choke on the truth. This lesson I prepared was made just for you. Feast up, I keep serving till the pot run dry. Got enough cooking to feed the whole country, no lie. Too many flavors, you know, I got what you like. Don't start beefing with me, you won't win this fight. If you come in peace, keep your teeth intact. I got a plan to get this cake, come grab a stack. Life could be sweet, if you listen, you'll see. Food for action on a platter, served fresh by me. I'm serving knowledge on plates, got the recipe down. A blend of hustle and wisdom, that's my sound. I'm feeding the masses, no crumbs, full course. But if you bring nothing to the table, find the door. Stop acting like you got beef, it won't taste right. This flavor's reserved for those ready.
Okay, family, we are live. We are live. And once again, I want to welcome you guys back to another episode of the Hustlers 10-Minute a Day Challenge. Today is Strong 55, day 2, and we are right at 18 minutes into today's challenge. So let's peel the curtain back. And I'm laughing. I'm laughing. It never gets old to me when I'm watching the intro, and there's different pieces that I've seen, a couple hundred times, right? Because we've shown up a couple hundred times. And I've shown a lot of the same intro pieces over and over and over again, but it never gets old. I'm thinking about that segment where with the motorcycle riders, and it just makes me think about how in your everyday life there's going to be challenges. There's going to be things that try to push you off your path. It might be other people who don't want to see you win, other people who are somewhat in competition with you or want to be in competition with you. So they're going to do what they can to derail you. And I'm looking at that and I'm laughing because I see and I notice the same thing that I've seen over and over again, right? I noticed the one biker. He's riding so close to the other biker. He's trying to overtake him. But obviously, he 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 can't overtake him, right? So the next best thing to do is he bumps him. He bumps him so that he knocks him off his motorcycle. But then in the next scene, you see that biker. He said, "Oh, it's not over. It's not over. You want to do that to me? I got something for you." Now, I don't know what type of race scenario that was from, but I'm thinking to myself, was that even legal? He was standing there with what, a sandbag in his hand, and he threw the sandbag into that biker. And of course, he fell off his bike. And I'm looking and I'm laughing. And I'm saying to myself, yo, that's funny. But sometimes in life you have to get your payback. You have to you have to return the favor, so to speak. Now, I wish I would have seen that race, the real actual race, right? It was just a clip that I found online. And just watching it this time, I had to laugh again, as I've done plenty of times before. But just looking at that and understanding how we can go through things, and we have adversity, and sometimes the adversity is just you know the world, the you know the universe, and there's nobody to get your payback with. There's nobody that you can necessarily blame and say, hey, you're responsible for me not being where I want to be. You're the one who did this to me, or whatever it is. And then you being able to, you know, respond accordingly. There's often never a direct correlation or direct target that you can kind of, go to and say, hey, I'm coming to get my payback. But that was just funny to me. I had to laugh. And, today is one of those days where it's training day Tuesday, and I'm just reflecting on, what I want to accomplish today. And of course, I want to attend as many trainings and learning sessions as I possibly can to get as much information as I possibly can, right? And a lot of times the information is repetitive. It's the same thing over and over and over. I've heard maybe 100 times or so, right? But just like that portion of that video, it never gets old because there's always a new way of looking at it or something different that you catch from a training. Even if the person, says the same thing and you can repeat what they're going to say, you can kind of say it before they actually get to the point. And then you have what's called a light bulb moment. Light bulb moment. When you're able to foresee and be a step ahead of what is about to happen, that's another form of muscle memory. And if you can be ahead of the game during the game, then you can create your own game, and you can create that game and make that game an ongoing thing without any type of hesitation. And it can run kind of on autopilot. That's that muscle memory. So if you learn, I want you to not just learn something one time. I don't want you to just attend one training. I don't want you to just come to one live and think, okay, I got the information. I heard what you said. I heard what you said. I want you to come back again and say, yeah, I heard what you said again. And then I want you to come back a third, fourth, fifth, 10th, 50th, 100th time and say, I know you're going to say that. And I got it. And while I've been listening, I've also been taking action. And I've said the same thing. I've said it, I've used it, and now I see the importance of repetition and being consistent. So that's one of the major keys to success that I want you all to, really pick up from today's live. I want you to be able to pick up on the fact that in order to be successful tomorrow, it's the things that you're going to do today that's going to allow you to get there. It's the things that you're going to see, the things that you're going to hear, the things that you're going to be able to learn, even if you've learned them over and over and over again. Because sometimes learning something is not going to automatically translate into you taking action on it. Sometimes you have to hear it over and over and over again. Kind of like how when you were a kid and your parents told you, hey, don't do that, and you did it anyway. And then they kept telling you the next time you did it, hey, I told you before not to do that. And you still did it. Some of you are really hard-headed, right? So you listen or you hear, but you don't listen. And you continue to indulge in the same activities that you know what the response is going to be. So even with you knowing what the response is going to be, you have that little hesitation before you do it. You have that little feeling in the pit of your stomach because your subconscious mind knows that, hey, this is something that I shouldn't be doing. And there's going to be a consequence behind it. There's going to be something that's going to come behind it. Your subconscious mind already knows that it's going to hear that same response from whoever saying, hey, I told you not to do that. And it's already anticipating it. But then at some point, when you get older and you grow up, usually this happens to a person when they start to have kids and they say to themselves, this is what my parents kept trying to tell me, and I didn't listen. And then you find yourself repeating the same thing that your parents said to you, you know, kind of like on autopilot. It's just muscle memory. It just comes back to you. You say the same exact line that your parents said to you. And then after you say it, you said, damn, that's exactly what my mom used to say to me. Now I understand. And you get the understanding after you actually take the action. So the muscle memory kicks in. And then you realize that, hey, I'm doing what they were doing to me and back then. So that's how you want to get. That's how you want to get when it comes to your online business. You want to show up so many times and you want to take action so many times and you want to listen and learn the same things over and over and over again so many times that you subconsciously start doing it and it becomes a habit. You want to hear your coach say certain things so many times over and over and over again that when you're in a conversation with someone and they ask you a similar question, something that was posed during a training, something that was addressed in, a training, and they ask you that question and you automatically respond with the answer and it just rolls off your tongue just like muscle memory. That's where you want to be. That's the level of expertise that you want to get to. And the only way to get there is through repetition. So, the only other thing that I want to talk to you guys about today is along with repetition, like I stated, it allows you to not only create that muscle memory, but it also allows you to foresee what is going to happen. You're able to complete the mission or complete the sentence before it even starts. And I was watching the news yesterday and I had to laugh watching the news because one of the news stories was about Gen Z and it was about the challenges that Gen Z are facing when it comes to finding jobs. And I had to laugh. I had to laugh because I said, you know, I've already talked about that. I've talked about that numerous times. I've talked about that for the last, let's say, month or two. I've seen the signs. I've paid attention to the trending news. I've paid attention to so many things and I've learned and I've been consistent, right? I've been consistent with what? I've been consistent with a simple action like this, going to what I call and what I tell you guys is one of my favorite tools, right? Right, which is the new tab section. Just opening up a new tab. It's free. Something simple, easy. You just press one button, the plus button, and it opens up the new tab. And it gives me daily information. It gives me repetitive information. Sometimes the articles, different title, like, it might be a training thing right here, sponsored ad. It might be something about AI, chat GPT. It might be something about, a celebrity did this, did that. And I'm engaging with the information. I'm being consistent. I'm learning as I go. I'm showing up. And even when the information to you might not seem valuable, I say to myself, hey, there's always value to be found in some of these articles And some of this information, it depends on who you are and what you find to be valuable. There's always something to learn, something that you can reinterpret and reuse for your own benefit. So I'm thinking yesterday, man, this is wild. And I'm listening, and as they're talking on the news report, at first they didn't even mention Gen Z. At first they just said young people. And I said, well, they're talking about Gen Z, and they're talking about the issues that they're facing, having finding jobs. And then they quoted Mark Cuban. They had a little snippet of Mark Cuban saying something. And I said to myself, wow. In one of my previous lives, we pulled up this tab here, and one of the articles was talking about Mark Cuban said this. So it let me know a few things. It let me know that the news, the news that you see on TV, for the most part, they're kind of late. Unless it's some late breaking critical news, they're gonna give it to you right then live as it's going on. But other than that, it's gonna be some things that happens in the news that, of course, they can't cover everything. So we can't expect them to cover everything. But as these stories right here are flashing, and as you're seeing it, it's a lot of political stuff, it's celebrity news and things like that. As it's flashing, I want you to be paying attention to what's flashing, because it's kind of like something that I talked about with you guys before. It's kind of like that red car situation. Somebody asks you, hey, have you seen a red car today? And you say, I haven't seen a red car in a couple of days. I can't remember the last time I saw one. And then next thing you know, after the conversation, you start seeing red cars. They start coming into your view. They start appearing as if they're appearing out of nowhere. But I want you to take in all of the information. That's why we have visuals. That's why we talk about trending stories, because there's always something that's going to come in handy for you, possibly later on down the line. It may be a week later, it may be a month later, it may be something that you can use to apply to your everyday life, or it might be something that you can directly apply to your online business. Now, one of the most valuable things that I've learned in this industry and in life as a whole is just like in that beginning training. I think I mentioned in that training that you're the sum of all of your experiences. You're the sum of everything that you've been through. You need to experience some things in order to be able to share some things. And the people that you come in contact with, they're going to have different experiences than you. They're going to have lived their lives, come from different states, different countries, different age groups, and all kinds of stuff. So you're going to need to know how to be in tune, not only with what's going on in your life, but you need to be in tune with what's going on in the lives of people around the world. You need to be in tune with why this right here just stuck out. Why you see a picture of ground ground beef and it's wrapped in money. And from what it looks like, it says price $85.75. That's, that's wild right there. That's wild. That's what is this story about? Well, it's using ground beef, but look at it. It says 23 ways to make money online in 2026. We did the research for you. So this might seem weird. Like, why are they using a picture of ground beef wrapped in money? Well, it might not be valuable to you today, but I could pretty much bet, and I wish we had a big enough audience for someone to come back to me in the next couple of days or so and say, the craziest thing is I went to the supermarket and I was looking at the price of ground beef. and I thought about this particular article, or I seen something else and it brought me back to this particular article, 23 ways to make money online in 2026. And all I can think of was ground beef. Whatever it is, I want you to be able to use it and interpret it and turn it into something of value for yourself. And I want you to be able to not only get the information, but I want you to be able to share the information. In a lot of cases, just like my experience yesterday, sometimes the rest of the world, it might take them a long time to get to sharing that information. The information that you get today, it might never show up from anyone else until a week, 2 weeks, or a month later. But you have that information today. So that's what yesterday kind of taught me. The message, even though they were talking about something that I already mentioned, they were talking about something valuable and important, something that was targeting a specific demographics, Gen Z. What it said to me and how I internalized it was that I need to keep doing what I'm doing. That what I'm doing is so valuable that it takes other people sometimes a month or so later to even catch up. People that have, you know, a big sphere of influence, people that have teams of researchers, people that have millions and billions of dollars behind them, like a news outlet. Even those people who have all of these things that, you know, is outside of my reach, outside of my grasp. All of these people that's probably lived different lives and went to college and did this, got degrees and study this stuff, study news for a living. And I just do it as well as a hobby, but I do it to add perspective to my particular niche of online marketing, something that I just do, but they actually live. It took them a month to get to it. That right there is valuable. That right there says to me, keep doing what you're doing. Stay on your path. Be at the forefront of information. Do the things that others won't do today so that you can share those things today. And then later on, you can be the person to say, hey, I already been there. Like my dad said, one of his favorite sayings is, every place that you thinking about going to, I done been there and came back already. Everything that you thinking about doing, I done been there and came back already. That right there is something that's powerful. So we gonna keep going places that nobody else is willing to go, either because they're afraid to go there, or because somebody else told them that you don't need to go there. You just stay over here. Stay in your lane right here. Just keep it simple. Just do this, just do that. You know, you don't need to look behind the curtain, like that Wizard of Oz type of mentality. You don't have to pull the curtain back. Just listen to the whiz. Just keep going on, easing on down that road. You can listen or you can take action and do things in a whole other way. So with that, I want to just refocus a little bit and I want to take you guys back to one of my other favorite websites, the website that allows us to have our foundational skill sets, right? And there's a live training that's going on today at 2 p.m. EST time, right? And it's hosted by one of my business partners, Mr. Wayne Crow. And the name of this training right here is the pull method that gets you buyers and not freebie seekers. That's powerful right there. I know just about everybody and their mama wants something for free. And you in your online business, you're gonna run across all of those people that want something for free. They they're not willing to pay for anything. They ask you for something that's, as they say, $1 million worth of game. They want that $1 million worth of game, but they're not willing to pay a dime for it. That's crazy. They expect you to pay money. You pay money, time. Time is money. So your investment, they basically look at it as, that's you. That's you. That's on you. I'm not willing to invest. You know, I I don't like people like that. I'm gonna be honest. I'm gonna be honest with you. I don't like people like that that look at your efforts, the value that you provide, and they say, "Hey, can you just give it to me for free?" When it took you time, energy, effort, and money in order to get to the level that you're at. But this training today is gonna teach you the pull method. That's very powerful. A pull method. See, a lot of people in their online business on a daily basis, they specialize in the push method. They're out there pushing information on people, they're pushing content on people, they're pushing links out to people, they're pressuring people and pushing them, trying to get them to do something. And that's the wrong thing because people resist pressure. People hate to be pushed to do anything. Even if it's a good idea, it could be a great idea. Yeah, you need to do this because you'll be able to learn this and be able to turn what you learn into that. And they hear what you're saying, they hear what you're saying, but they're not willing to listen. A lot of times is because in their mind, in their personal ego, it wasn't something that they came up with. It wasn't their idea. So they're not willing to take on anybody else's idea because they feel as though it didn't come from me. So I don't want to hear it. I'm not going to take action on it. So the more you push, the more people resist. But the pull method says you're attracting people. You become more like a magnet. So instead of people feeling like you're telling them what to do, they're engaged and they're attracted to what you're saying. And then somehow in their mind, psychologically, you're giving the information, you're giving the value, you're pulling them in, but they feel as though it's their idea, it's their decision. And there's a strategy behind that. It's a strategy behind how you convey information to a person so that they feel as though this can actually work. And some people, they actually feel as though, and this is very helpful to a lot of people. This is one of those keys to success. If you can present information to a person in such a way that it makes them feel as though they are getting over on you. People love to feel as though they're getting over on you. People love to see that, hey, you have a shiny new this, that, or the third. You have this car, right? And you're looking at the car and the person is talking to you about the car and they're telling you about how expensive the car is and how it does this, that, and the third, but they're saying it in a way that, at first you're not really paying attention to the car. But they're saying like, I was driving the car and I didn't realize that the car got so much good miles to the gallon. I was able to drive from here to there and the gas tank, it barely even moved. That's the craziest thing to me. And, you know, I, I haven't had an issue with this car and I've had it for however many years. I went to the dealership the other day and, I expected, when I had to get a tune up, that I was going to have all these major repairs needed. And they told me, the only thing that's wrong with it is, you need some new windshield wiper blades. And that was cheap right there. That didn't even cost a lot. You know, man, I never thought that I would have a good experience from purchasing a car because my last couple of cars, they were this, they were that, but this joint right here, you know, this is one of those ones. And you know, I'm looking to upgrade and you know, I'm gonna buy a new car, but I hate the fact that this right here is gonna sit in my garage. I'm gonna have this sitting in my garage and it's just gonna be sitting there because I just want a new version of this because I know these cars are reliable after my experience. Now, a person that hears something like that and they'll be listening and they'll be hearing in their mind and they'll be making a whole determination in their mind about what you just said. Now, what you actually said is you're about to go purchase a new version of this car because this car is amazing. And then you said that you're going to park that car and you're not going to have any use for that car anymore because obviously you're going to be driving the new car. And you didn't say you want to sell the car. You're trying to get rid of it. You're saying that you love the car. There's no problems with it. The maintenance is low maintenance. The gas, the mileage you get is crazy. Then what happens in a lot of cases? A person to hear that and they'll say to you, well, you know, I was kind of looking to purchase a new car myself. You know, I was thinking about getting a new car and, I was about to go to the dealership and everything. But, when are you going to purchase your new car? And you tell them, hey, well, I'm about to go to the dealership later on today and I'm about to make that purchase. And as soon as I do, you know, I know I'm gonna have that car right there for the next, 10 years at least, because I had this one right here for this long and I know it's gonna last, you know. So they're talking about the new car and you're thinking in your mind, well, some people they're thinking in their mind, okay, this sounds like a win. Huh, okay, well, you going to get that new car? Well, it sound crazy to, if this car right here is still running good, it sound crazy to just have that car sitting in the garage and, you're not going to be driving it no more. How much are you willing to give it up for? I was thinking about spending this much on the new car or whatever. So, what you think? I'm willing to make you an offer on this. And then it becomes more of their idea than yours. They didn't think that you were actually looking to sell the car, but they actually thought that they were about to get a great deal and they were about to get over on you somehow. They might not be thinking that they're going to get over on you necessarily, but they just feel like they came up on something, a once in a lifetime opportunity, and the idea is all their own. There's a method, there's a different method. It's not sales. Now, I know my business partner, he's going to train you guys in what he considered to be the pull method, but that right there was a summary of what I consider to be a pull method based off of where I come from, how we was taught in the hood, how sales went down, how things happen, how some sales were made and how other things actually happened, how some people actually ended up getting robbed. Let's keep it real. Story like that is kind of too good to be true and it could be applied to so many things. And I've seen the good, bad, and the ugly when it comes to that. So a story like that could end up with you going home and the person you talking to or a person that you gave all that valuable information to, they follow you home without you even knowing. They wait to see you park that car, and next thing you know, a couple of days later, your car is missing because now they want that car. They might not be willing to pay for it. They might be the freebie seeker. They might be the person that's looking to get it for free, so they're going to get it by any means necessary. Or you could be attracting a person that wants to do it the right way and that wants to be a buyer. So let's read the rest of this right here. It says anyone can pull in leads. Buyer leads are a different animal, and landing them is a skill. Join me live as I show you why the right lead changes everything. And the thing I worked out years ago that I wish someone had handed me when I started. Yeah, everybody wants to know something that somebody else feels as though they should have learned years ago. Because we all have that thought in our minds at some point that, if I knew then what I know now, I'd be in a better position. So to hear somebody else say, basically, if I knew then what I know now, or what I worked out years ago that I wish someone had handed me when I started, I'd be in a better place, right? That resonates with a lot of people, and they'll want that information also. So if you want that information, hopefully you'll join us today at 2 p.m. EST time to get the information on the pull method and how you can get buyers and not freebie seekers, because in your business, it runs off of buyers and people that are willing to invest their money with you and in your products and services. So with that, I want you guys to comment hustle so that you can get access. And also, the easiest way is to go right in the description of this video. The most valuable document in all of online marketing, the link is there. And all you have to do is click the second line right here, what I consider to be the second line that says grab your mega link. And that's going to unlock all of the things that you need to know today to apply tomorrow, and all the things that you'll be able to learn tomorrow so that you can apply the next day, because the training never stops. Keep showing up so that you can always get more and more information so you can apply it. So with that, I hope you guys have enjoyed today's live, and I hope to see you tomorrow in tomorrow's live so that we can continue on the discussion, so that we can further cement the information for you so that you can start taking the best possible actions. Have a great rest of your day.
Woke up to silence, dreams still heavy. Phone screen dry, but my vision stays steady. Mama said, baby, that job ain't your lane. But I clocked in anyway, chasing someone else's gain. Dad got me dancing with denial at night. Scrolling for hope, but it's hidden from sight. 10 minutes a day, sounded small at first, but in silence, even whispers can quench a thirst. Notebook in hand, wrote my future in ink. Mapped out my mission before I started to sink. Every post was a prayer, every share had weight. I wasn't selling a link, I was shifting fate. I found my rhythm in the quietest place, where hustle meant healing and grind meant grace. From the corner of doubt, I carved my space. Legacy ain't loud, but it wins the race. 10 minutes a day, brick by brick, built from the bottom, now the vision stick. No hype, no cap, just clarity. This ain't just income, it's legacy. Every click, every song I create etches my name where they can't erase. You can doubt, but you gon' see. 10 minutes wife says she doing too much. To my PayPal ping, then they changed up the touch. No big brand, no six-figure crew, just a mic, some lyrics, and a dream that grew. Tired of waiting for the gatekeeper's call, so I built my own stage, held my own hall. Suno on deck, that's the beat in my chest. GPT spin like I'm born to impress. Said I'd never make it, cool, noted. But now my bars turn pain into coated. From broken to branded, I ain't asked for fame, I asked for freedom and I claim my name now. Hustle berry on loop like healing chance, for the girls who grew up with limited chance. This is more than a challenge, it's breaking the chain. Cause 10 minutes a day rewired my brain. 10 minutes a day, brick by brick, built from the bottom. Now the vision stick, no hype, no cap, just clarity. This ain't just income, it's legacy. Every click, every song I create etches my name where they can't erase. You can doubt, but you gon' see. 10 minutes a day turned into legacy. Now my daughter sees me different, eyes full of fire. She said, Ma, your words lift me higher. This ain't a hustle, it's a heart-led path, where math meets message and message meets math. Community over clicks, value over hype. I ain't here to trend, I'm here to type blueprints for the ones still stuck in fear. Let them borrow my belief till their purpose clear. Haters still quiet, but I'm loud with grace. Posting in peace, not a mask on my face. Every bar I drop, every beat